It's arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pingi TV, ladies and gentlemen, and in particular my top 10 countdown of my favourite sporting movies of all time. I couldn't really sort of say much as to what was in my list, but I can sort of say right now that classics such as Karate Kid, Major League, Rocky, Hoosiers, and a few others as well, Cool Runnings, didn't even make it in the top 10. So that's how close it actually really was. Now, how did I go about this, may you ask, about sort of nominating what was my favourite, second favourite, and what was actually in the top 10? I've actually got quite a fair collection of sporting DVDs in my apartment, and put them all together and added a couple others that I don't have that I would like to have as well, and I put them sort of like in a knockout tournament phase, if you like, sort of 1 against 1, and sort of progress to semis, quarters, and final, etc. And to make sure that one tournament wasn't really inconclusive, I actually did it 4 separate times so that my preferences were a lot more concrete and a lot more accurate. And it went through a point system. The actual winner got possible 12 points, the runner-up got 9 points, semi-finalists got 6 points, quarter-finalists 4 points, and 3 and 2, and so on. And so therefore, that the maximum points in the movie was a possible 48 points. So that's how I went about it, and looking back at the list, I was actually very happy with it. So let's get it underway, shall we? Number 10 in my top 10 countdown is probably a movie that not many of you will know. It is actually a late 80s, but I do know one or two of the people that I did grow up with very closely in the 80s were very, very impressed.
10.
Amassing 10 out of a possible 48 points is best of the best. Some would classify it as a lower level than B-grade movie, but has names in it such as Eric Roberts and the legendary James Earl Jones. This is a story based on 5 young American men chosen to represent the USA against Team Korea in a prestigious karate event. All unique characters, especially Travis Brickley, played by the late Chris Penn. This movie is an uplifting story with a heartfelt ending.
What are you counting them for?
Same sport, same era. But instead of Daehan, we're up against Tong Po.
9.
From Seoul to Thailand we go. Kickboxer is another late 80s favourite, scoring 11 points. Jocelyn Van Damme plays Kurt Sloan, a Belgian-born man training extensively in preparation of a fight against the killer adversary in Tong Po to avenge the brutal slaying of his brother. During that journey, he finds the wisdom of an inspirational teacher, the peace and clarity of innocence himself. Oh, and love. Not so cow.
Because I tell them, you say, they know good fighters, and that their mother have sex with mules. You what? Oh, make them very angry. Fight hard. Good training.
Coming in at number 8 is the first of 5 of the remaining 8 movies that is based on a true story. Now, the actual footage of this is a little bit longer than most of the others because it does have probably one of the most inspirational coach addresses that you will ever hear, and I just couldn't help but throw it in.
8.
Huntington, West Virginia was decimated in 1970 with a plane crash, killing the entire playing list, majority coaches and staff of the Marshall University football team. In a resilient attempt to rekindle spirits throughout the entire town, Coach Jack Lingle, played by Matthew McConaughey, started from scratch and through adversity brought back the life of Marshall University's football program, and with it became whole.
Why don't you take us onto that field?
For those of you who may not know, this is the final resting place for 6 members of the 1970 Thundering Herd. The plane crash that took their lives was so severe, so absolute, that their bodies were unable to be identified. So they were buried here, together. 6 players, 6 teammates, 6 sons of Marshall. This is our past, gentlemen. This is where we have been. This is how we got here. This is who we are today. I want to talk about our opponent this afternoon. They're bigger, faster, stronger, more experienced. And on paper, they're just better. And they know it too. But I want to tell you something that they don't know. They don't know your heart. I do. I've seen it. You have shown it to me. You have shown this coaching staff, your teammates. You have shown yourselves just exactly who you are in here. When you take that field today, you've got to lay that heart on the line, man. From the soles of your feet, with every ounce of blood you've got in your body, lay it on the line until the final whistle blows. And if you do that, we cannot lose. We may be behind on the scoreboard at the end of the game, but if you play like that, we cannot be defeated. And we came here today to remember. 6 young men and 69 others who will not be on the field with you today. But they will be watching. You can bet your ass that they'll be gritting their teeth with every snap of that football. You understand me? How you play today, from this moment on, is how you will be remembered. This is your opportunity to rise from these ashes and grab glory. We are. We are. Funerals in today.
Coming in at number 7, Triple Deke, Flying V, Bash Brothers. Any of those terms ring a bell?
7.
Scoring 12 points came the trilogy of the Mighty Ducks. Starting off as a group of talentless young kids who ventured guidance so that the time-hot-headed lawyer Gordon Bombay, played by Neil, turned this team of misfits to Pee Wee champs, and with the additional ring-ins, won the gold medal for the United States in the Junior Goodwill Games. Next challenge for the Ducks was high school hockey, where Coach Ted O'Ryan, a straight-talking, no-nonsense mentor, praised Bombay, but was still important in their development as hockey players.
My name is Coach
In
O'Ryan.
all 3 installments, the Ducks conquered,
Okay, Ducks,
all
here we
against
go.
Red Odds.
See, unlike scoring, defense never quits. But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence. Listen, if you learn nothing else when you're here, you learn this. All right? Because it's not just about hockey. It's easy to be confident when you have control of the puck. It's very, very difficult to keep that confidence when you got to take whatever strange bounces life throws your way. Don't be careless, but don't be too careful either. You cannot be afraid to lose. That's how you gain the confidence to attack the game when the puck isn't yours. That's how you attack life, even when you think you don't have any control. And that's how you play real defense.